Captain Danyaahla, Priest Danyaahla. Captain Danyaahla, Priest Danyaahla. Straight from the tribe of Judah, the sons of Jacob, coming to wake up all the lost and scattered, to call and gather together, see that's all that matter. Make the decision and stop with all the hate and division. We got lives to save, that's a major provision. Raised in the system, enslaved in prisons as teenagers, lead majors, bionic man, working for free labor. And wonder why we suffer disaster. The Stockholm Syndrome got you loving your master. But y'all don't hear me though. 2018, still pointing fingers like Arsenio, neglecting self-reflection, ducking filthy mirrors. But steady on your knees, wondering will he hear us? You don't know the scriptures though. Still celebrating Christmas, kissing under mistletoes, or pagan calling yourselves Christians. Listen, we sick of those. Cooning for the master type, house niggas for sale, 2 for 1 a math for dice. Evildoers, lovers of money, call them past the ice. Run up in your church and your pulpit and snatch your mic. The type of shit the men of Lord to try. Because I'm fortified, squeezing at you heathens, it's your modern day Mordecai.
I said too much knowledge, it might break up the rhyme. I did it anyway just to wake up your mind. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the flow. I did it anyway because my people need to know. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the rhyme. I did it anyway just to wake up your mind. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the flow. I did it anyway because my people need to know.
So you jakes are from Wakanda now, it's like y'all even blinded now. Worst case, Sunday morning filling church plates for collection, and you praying, preach a lie, you say amen when he told you your black skin comes from some cursed Canaans. Through robbery and swearing and religious racketeering, our condition comes from a continuous lack of hearing. When we're spoken to, I'm hoping to give truth to people close to you. Hear or forbear, you did what you're supposed to do. Our people hate correction, of course, and no direction. If my words offend you, that was never my intention. But damn y'all, how y'all let that capitalize scam y'all? Our people are destroyed like hurricanes making landfall. Like y'all not really activists, y'all agents on the activists who teach us to be pacifists when all you're really after is the money full of greed, but won't help those in need. Fake with no evidence is gonna be a record.
I said too much knowledge, it might break up the rhyme. I did it anyway just to wake up your mind. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the flow. I did it anyway because my people need to know. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the rhyme. I did it anyway just to wake up your mind. I said too much knowledge, it might break up the flow. I did it anyway because my people need to know.
I said too much knowledge might break.
Hey, shalom to the family, shalom, shalom, shalom. Welcome to another edition of Maccabeestv. It's your brother, Priest Danyaahla. Maccabees Alliance Council, Lions of Israel. Just doing a quick video as promised to some of the brothers and sisters that left comments on the video from the recent Israelite Summit. All right, so I'm just doing a follow-up video to a request or some requests that brothers and sisters made on the Israelite Summit videos. When I was going live, people were leaving comments and asking or requesting something in particular. Particularly, we're going to talk about this book today, this right here. This was something that was being given out at the summit. And so brothers and sisters were on the comment boards. They were asking me about this book and how they can get a hold of it. So for those of you that did not watch that video, I'm going to explain to you what this book is, what it entails, what it's about. And I'm also going to tell you, brothers and sisters that are interested after I explain it, how you can get a copy of this book. All right. So I don't intend on being too long because I know today is Super Bowl Sunday. So a lot of our people don't have no time for nothing else today, man. You know, we talked all that good stuff about Colin Kaepernick. We talked all that good stuff about how the NFL is racist, institutional racism in the NFL with the owners, right? Institutional racism in the NFL, you know, with the coaches. We talk all that good stuff. We say we supported Brother Colin Kaepernick and other brothers that were kneeling. We say that, but let's be real. Most of us are going to watch the game today. That includes me, right? So it is what it is because I hate everything that comes. You know, shout out to all my Israelites in Boston, the city of Boston. I love y'all. But growing up a New Yorker, you know what I'm saying, before I came into the truth, I never liked nothing that came out of Boston. No teams, nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to repent from that. So y'all pray for me. I'm trying to repent from that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the Patriots. Plus, I don't like Tom Brady. A lot of y'all know Tom Brady is a racist. Y'all gonna find it out after he retires. Tom Brady is a daggone racist, all right? They found that MAGA hat in his that MAGA hat, which is really nothing but a damn PSYOP operation anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's really nothing. The MAGA hat is nothing but the daggone Ku Klux Klan hat, and all that stuff is controlled by the elite. So it's nonsense. But nonetheless, they found that MAGA hat in Tom Brady's in his locker. So we know what he supports. If I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. When Curious George was president, I don't know if y'all know who Curious George is. For those of y'all that don't know who Curious George was, Curious George is Barack Obama. That was my name for him. When he was president, I believe Brady didn't go to the White House when they won a Super Bowl, but was mad that people didn't want to go to the White House when you know, when his guy was in the White House. So that's just a little side thing right there. I know a lot of y'all gonna watch the game, so I don't want to be too long with this video. All right. So shout out to everybody that's on, and those of you that don't catch it, you can catch the video at a later date. Right. So first of all, before we begin, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whose name is Yahweh in the Hebrew, in the name of our Messiah, Hamashiach, Hamalak of Israel, the King of Israel, Yahweh Shai. I say greetings to all my brothers and sisters. Thank y'all for joining me again on this Sunday afternoon. Hopefully you brothers and sisters had a blessed Sabbath yesterday. And, you know, we're going to get it in today. We're going to talk a little bit. I don't intend on being too long. So you see the name of the title of this video. The name of the title of this video is Everyone Should Have One of These. And when I say one of these, I'm talking about one of these. So what is this that I'm holding in my hand? And why do I feel like it's so important and every Israelite should have one? Okay. I used to work. I got to give you a story. You know I do, right? I used to work for some so-called Jews in Queens, right? And these so-called Jews, before they would go outside to anybody else, they always patronized their own. If somebody came to do plumbing, it was one of their own, so-called Jew. If somebody came to do tech work, so-called Jew. Construction, so-called Jew. Mechanic, so-called Jew. To fix the porta potty and empty the porta potty, so-called Jew. You name it, so-called Jew. You see what I'm saying? When it came time to cater, when they would buy food for the workers, it was from so-called Jews. Okay, that's what it was. They support their own. Their money circulates in their own community before their money leaves their community. And we all know as so-called blacks and Hispanics, that's a major problem that we have. Money does not circulate in our community. A lot of times, all of us, including myself, our money is spent before we even get it. You know, 2 and 3 days before you get your check, before that direct deposit hits, so you get your check, you already spent all of that in your mind. You already know you got to pay this, you got to pay this, you got to pay that, you got to go buy this, you got to go buy that, you got to go buy that. You have to fix your car, you have to do this, you have to do that, and all that money leaves your community immediately, right? So this is something that's very important. This came out during the summit at the Israelite Summit recently, right? And when the brother Elder Zaqan from North Carolina, he put this together. When he introduced this at the summit, and I was live streaming, there was a lot of people on the live stream that were asking me how to get a copy of it. So let me explain to you, brothers and sisters, what this is. This is, for the lack of a better word, this is a directory, an Israelite directory. And what it does is it lists each of the 50 states, and it gives you a camp that's located in that state, a phone number that's located in that state, and it tells you what types of business services that are offered by those particular camps. So you have, how many of you brothers and sisters know that there's a medical doctor in Israel? More than one. A lot of y'all don't know that. A lot of you don't know that, right? And you may be able to consult with somebody that shares the same faith as you, but you didn't know that. You see what I'm saying? This goes into all of that. How many of you brothers and sisters know that there's dentists in Israel that are Israelites? How many of y'all know that? Not many, right? There are mechanics in Israel. How many of y'all know that? There are midwives in Israel. How many of y'all know that? For the most part, most of us don't know that. And I also didn't know some of the services that were offered as well. So when he was going into it at the summit, you know, because Zaqan and I, we go way back to the old days of the old school. You know, I told him, I said, I need to get one of those and I'm going to do a show on it. You know what I'm saying? Where I talk to Israel about this. This is very, very, very important. Like, you know, we have time to argue and bicker and fuss and fight and war with each other. But this is real stuff right here. This is real stuff. This is not a camp thing. This is not a doctrine thing. This is real stuff. Before we go and patronize somebody outside of our community, the first thing we should do is we should look to see if there's somebody within our community that offers the same services and try to patronize them. You understand what I'm saying to you? If you need somebody to make up some documents as far as legal documents and stuff like that, you have that in here. And also, right, some of you brothers and sisters within the sound of my voice, you have gifts, you have talents, right? And you're not in this book yet. I'm going to tell you how to be able to get into this book so that all Israel can have you in their directory, whatever your gift may be. You might be a website designer. You might be a graphic designer. You might be a midwife. You might be a mechanic. You might, you know, whatever you do, you might do computer networking. Whatever it is that you do, you should be in this book. And we as Israelites, we're supposed to be looking in this book to see if we can get, obviously, if you need a mechanic, right, you can't get somebody that's in another state. That's obvious, right? Nonetheless, if you're a mechanic, you still should be in this book in case somebody in your state needs that. But if you have services that you want to offer to Israel, it should be here. And we should be consulting this book. Everybody else does that. Everybody else does that but us. So when the brother introduced this book, I thought it was a beautiful thing. I have something similar to this on Facebook, and it's been very difficult for me to get Israel to support it. I'm going to show y'all that in a minute, but I'm going to deal with this first, right? So again, the name of this thing is an Israelite directory, right? This was put together by Elder Zaqan. So the first thing I'm going to do, right, and my moderators, if you could help me out, right? I'm also going to put this in the chat as well. I'm going to tell you how to reach Elder Zaqan. I'm going to give you his phone number, okay? If you have a business or service that you think is useful to Israel, this is not just about making money and getting rich. Let's get that straight, right? What this is about is that we have to learn. We're talking about being a nation. We don't have to wait for the Messiah to come back to set things up like this. That's where you cross the line from being Israelites and dealing with your heritage to being spooky and being religious. If you think that the Messiah has to come back to set something up like this, you are religious, whether you accept it or not, because we can do things like this. All right. So Elder Zaqan, to reach the brother, he's in the camp called Yahweh's camp. Right now, his particular skill set that the Most High blessed him with is he is a author. The brother has written several books. If you want to get more information about his books, several books about the truth about being an Israelite. Right. He's a publisher. So if you're interested in getting a book published and you don't know how, you can reach out to this brother. He's also a scribe, right? And to reach out to Elder Zaqan, his phone number is 984-365-6637. Again, that's 984-365-6637. I'm really quickly going to put this number also in the chat, right? I'm really going to put this number also in the chat, right? Okay, and I'm going to put his name there. 1 second. If you brothers and sisters want to reach out to the brother after this, and I'm also going to put this in the description of the video. If you want to reach out to the brother and get into this book as well as get any information, you brothers and sisters could do that. Really quickly before I get back into this, I should have never. I mean, I had to come over here and type this. I should have never came over and looked at the comments. But Lifesaver Elia. The first thing you could do and think about when we're talking about something important, the first thing you could do to think about is be contentious. This is what I'm talking about. You say on the cover of the book is the Star of Molech. Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Let me come back to myself so I can see myself. Let me ask you a question. Can you provide me in the comments? I'm going to be looking. Can you provide me in the comments Any ancient archaeology that says that that's the star of Molech. I'd like to see it. Ancient archaeology, not no Illuminati conspiracy videos, none of that crap. I want you to show me an ancient archaeological find of Molech with that on the front. Can you show me that? Because that's nonsense. I also want you to show me anywhere in the scriptures where it tells you the star of Molech was a 6-pointed symbol. Show me that. You Negroes is damn religious. And you're part of, a lot of you so-called Negroes, I'm going to call it straight. A lot of you Negroes are part of the damn problem. You're part of the problem. Because we're talking about something that could benefit us all, and all you could think about doing is being contentious, man. A lot of you Negroes, man, a lot of you are the damn devil, man. We talk about the white man. A lot of you so-called Negroes are the damn devil, but you're in the way. I'm gonna say it straight. And if you're offended, oh well. Because of all the things that you could come on here and say, you could be contentious on a video tomorrow. We're talking about nation building right now. This is an important subject. Not time to be damn contentious. But I'm not even gonna go back and look at that crap. So I put Elder Zaqan's number in the comments, and I'll put it again before I'm over. My moderators, if y'all are in the chat, y'all could keep putting the number in there in the meantime. So once again, this is something that came out at the summit that I was very interested in. So let's go into, just to give you an idea of what's in this book. All right. So in California, you have the Shield of Wisdom camp under Elder Zaqan, right? And you have somebody there that's by the name of Jalani, Jaloni. That's a computer specialist. They didn't really give a lot of details what it means to be a computer specialist, but they're in this book. So if you need somebody that's a computer specialist, you will try to consult this brother and see if he has the skills that you need to do the work and what his prices are, and maybe you can support your own instead of supporting the other nations. Let's move on, right? Also, in the Shield of Wisdom camp, you have a brother by the name of Bun Amawana, right? And he's a garment maker. Now, for those of you brothers and sisters that are not familiar with Elder Zaqan, if you're friends with him on Facebook, you know what I'm talking about. That man's garments look like he done walked out of the daggone heavens. Like the heavens done parted and he came out. His garments, every one of them is spectacular. It's amazing. I'm not sure if this is the brother that does his garments, but if it is, this brother is a spectacular garment maker. So if you're interested in something like that, somebody making garments for you, you need to get a hold of this information. You need to reach out to Elder Zaqan and get a hold of this, because you have brothers that do that, okay? If you make garments, you need to reach out to Elder Zaqan and try to get your name up in this book, okay? From the same camp, you have another brother. His name is Leonardo Garcia. He didn't give his Hebrew name, and he's a mechanic, all right? We all could use mechanics. We know mechanics out here. If you don't have a mechanic that's working with you and giving you fair prices, we all know how these mechanics out here are gouging you. The slightest thing is wrong with your car, and you going in for an estimate, and they're telling you 10 other things is wrong with your car and charging you for parts and labor and all types of craziness, man. Maybe an Israelite would do you a little bit better. You see what I'm saying? So we should know about brothers like that and try to support them before we go to the other nations, or even somebody that's not Israel to be a mechanic. Support each other, right? Let's move on. So we have the Light of Zion camp in Florida under Elder Zaqan, right? And Elder Zaqan, he's a life insurance, a health insurance agent, as well as a notary. I want to briefly talk to you brothers and sisters about life insurance. I did a show on this, and I'm gonna do this ad nauseum until y'all sick of hearing me say it, right? Life insurance is one of the biggest needs in Israel today. This brother's phone should be ringing off the hook. A lot of you Israelites, a lot of you, right? You're in this truth, and you're the only one in your family in this truth. It happens so many times, I can't even tell you over my years in Israel how many times this has happened. You got brothers that are in the truth. You're the only person in your family in the truth. And most high forbid you pass away, right? And you wind up in a daggone church under a pedophile preacher saying your last rites under a life-size image of Caesar Borgias, and that's not how you lived in life. And your family will not allow your camp or your brothers to bury you according to our customs because they're Christians or they're Catholics or they're whatever. That happens in Israel way too much because brothers is not planning ahead. I know death is not something brothers and sisters want to talk about, but death is certain. It's a part of life. Most High said, from dust you came, and to dust you shall what? Return. That's what he told Adam. That's a part of life, you know? And brothers are not preparing themselves for that. Also, another thing too, man, living wills. As far as drawing up living wills, you can do things like that where your family might inherit your physical, you know, your physical as far as what your earthly possessions. They might inherit that, but your congregation can allow you to be buried according to your customs. There are some camps, I'm not going to mention them, but I've spoken with some elders where they offer members of their camp. It's not mandatory, but they offer members of their camp. When you join their camp, you could sign some type of legal document where your family does not have the right to bury you if you pass. Your congregation has the right to bury you according to your customs. This is a huge problem in Israel. I see it happen over and over again. I talk about it over and over again, and it seems like it goes in everybody's ear, one ear and out the other. Nobody cares until something happens. So again, Elder Zaqan from the Light of Zion Church, in this directory that was given out at the summit that all of y'all should try to get a copy of, Elder Zaqan does life insurance. Another problem that we're having in Israel. Let's keep it real. We're going to keep it real today. I'm not going to be long. Like I said, I'm not going to go through the whole book. Look, I told my camp this. I told AOC this. I told the Maccabees Alliance Council this. And I'm telling y'all, y'all know this is true, right? We are our brother and our sister's keeper. So when something happens to our brothers and our sisters, we as Israelites, those of us that are not niggas, that don't hate every goddamn body, because some camps just hate every goddamn body and ain't helping nobody, right? But those of us that really have that spirit of brotherhood, that spirit of the Messiah, when something happens to somebody else that's not even in your camp, we're always willing to help out. There's no question about that. But at some point, there's just too many GoFundMes in Israel, too many. Every time somebody passes away, we're doing a GoFundMe. Why? Because brothers and sisters are not getting life insurance. The small things. You could probably get a policy that's paying $10 a week. You're not doing that. You're not taking care of that. Then you pass away. Your wife and your children are there stuck. A funeral, $7,000, $8,000. You don't have the money. Now we're doing a GoFundMe, going from camp to camp to camp to camp, trying to take up a donation. And then somebody else passes away. Now we got 2 and 3 GoFundMes going on at a time because we're not planning. The scriptures say, where there's no vision, the people fail. Now we know first and foremost that's talking about prophecy. But as leaders, you got to have vision too, to see what's going to be happening and what's happening. And I've been watching and I've been seeing this going on in Israel for years. Brothers and sisters are passing away with no life insurance. And then Israel is bearing a burden to bury these brothers and sisters, which is our duty as Israelites. But we can plan ahead. And that's what this book is about. That's what the directory is about. You have people in Israel that deal with life insurance. So you can get a copy of this book, get a hold of this book, get a hold of somebody that does life insurance and set that up so that we don't have to constantly do that. The same thing over and over and over again I'm seeing in Israel, like a dog chasing or a hamster chasing its own tail, a hamster in a wheel going in circles. And I've been talking about this for years. And it's hit me. It's affected me disproportionately because I had several brothers in my congregation pass away. Bun Lawyer was one of them. And he didn't do this. And me and him talked about it before he passed. He knew he was sick. He didn't do that. That's my brother. That's my brother. He know, right? But he didn't plan ahead. He didn't want to talk about his death. He never did. And I would talk to him. He never wanted to talk about it, family. I'm keeping it real with y'all. And then when he passed, the burden was left on us because I'll be damned if I was going to allow him to be buried in a goddamn church. And I had to fight with the family for them to even allow me to get the body. Y'all don't know what I went through. You see? Because they're Roman Catholics. If he had a living will, if his paperwork was in order the way it was supposed to be, that wouldn't have happened. And him and Zaqan was very close, but he didn't want to do it. I'm telling y'all, these things are important, man. While y'all sitting and bickering and having 500 comment arguments on Facebook and YouTube and social media and going back and forth and everybody wants to be right and you're rebuking this one and that one and making videos and response videos, while y'all are doing that, real stuff is going on. We have Israelites passing away all the time, and I'm seeing GoFundMes up and down my damn timeline because Israelites are not getting life insurance. That's what this book is about. We have people that do that in Israel. Get a hold of that brother, Elder Zaqan. I'm going to put the information to reach out to Elder Zaqan again so y'all can get a copy of this. and go through this and see what services you need and reach out to your brothers and sisters and get those services. And if you offer service that you know Israel needs, get yourself up in his book. He'll put you in there. Florida, continued, right? You have Elder Zaqan from the Light of Zion camp. The brother's a notary. He's also an English teacher, and he's a personal trainer. You have another brother in that camp, Brother Yaquab. He's a graphic designer, and he does professional T-shirt printing. These are all little things and big things and in between things that we take our money and we spend it outside of our community with other people. Why? When we have people in Israel that do this. Now, if a brother or sister in Israel has a business and they're not offering you the best rates or the best prices, I'm not mad at you if you go somewhere else. Because brothers and sisters in Israel, if you have a business, you shouldn't be gouging your customers. Don't overcharge, because that is a complaint. I got that complaint too, man. You try to support black businesses and they charge you 2 and 3 times what somebody else would charge you, and we got to get out of that, man. We're not trying to get rich. You have a business, you're not really doing it to try to get rich. You see what I'm saying? You deal with your brothers and sisters accordingly, or else they're gonna go to the other nation. They're gonna go. I was in an establishment the other day, and I was listening to it was a Benjamite, some Jamaicans in the establishment, and they were talking about their own people, right? They were saying, this is about food. They was like, yo, when I go into a Jamaican restaurant and I order myself some curry goat or some oxtail, they give me like 5 pounds of rice, you know what I'm saying, a lot of gravy, and like 3 pieces of oxtail, you know what I'm saying, or curry goat. This is Jamaican people talking about Jamaican people. Then they said, when I go to the Dominicans and I go to the restaurant, for the same price, I get so much food, it lasts me 2 or 3 days. And that's a fact. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? They said the same thing when they go to the so-called Chinese. The Chinese will give them so much food, it'll last 2 or 3 days. Now, I don't recommend nobody eat no daggone Chinese food, but I'm just saying, if you have a business, don't try to gouge your own people to get rich, all right? Let's see what else we have in here real quick while I'm going through. I'm not going to give you everything. Okay, here we go. Baltimore, Maryland. You have a brother by the name of Zephaniah. This is what I was talking about before. Zephaniah, he's a member of the camp Watchmen for Israel in Baltimore, Maryland. The brother's a dentist. He's a dentist. So this is something that if you're not local, then you can't really, but it might not, it might not help you. But if you are in the Baltimore area or the greater Baltimore area somewhere in Maryland, and you're looking for a dentist, you need dental work done, you can consult your brother. If you had this Israelite directory that was given out at the summit, you can consult your brother before you go to the so-called Jew or the so-called Indian or whatever that's going to do the same work. Consult your brother. You see what I'm saying? This is what we should be talking about. It's not always about contention. It's not always about gossip and about strife. And that's the problem. If you're not getting that, you're not interested in what's being said. But you're talking about a nation coming back. We don't have to wait for the Messiah to set stuff up like this, to consult our own people. And again, I'm repeating because there's new people coming in and out. If you're interested in getting in here, I'm going to put Zaqan's number in the chat again. And when I'm done, I'm going to put his number in the description to this video. This is very important. Now, this is not my book, because some of y'all going to reach out and ask me, could you get it from me? This is not my book. If Zaqan gives me permission and you reach out to me, I will, try to get you a copy of the book at your cost, though. You're going to have to pay for the mailing, the shipping, and the handling, and all that. All right? Let's continue. Let's see what else we have in here. Swords of Zion. You have Mariah. She's I don't want to say she or he because I'm not sure. It says a sower, a chef, and a planner. So that's Swords of Israel. That's in the state of Michigan, right? Also in Michigan, you have Brother Perry Will. And I think I spoke to this brother before. This brother has a lot of talents. Brother Perry Will. He is a kosher winemaker. He makes kosher wine. I've been telling brothers over the past couple of years in my camp, et cetera, I wish I had the facilities to make wine, because just like we did away with them Manischewitz, them dry Manischewitz biscuits that everybody was eating for years for Passover, Them so-called unleavened crackers, them things are dry as hell. You eat one, you got to drink a gallon of water behind it. Now all of a sudden, most camps are making their own unleavened bread for Passover, etc., which is an excellent thing. It's a beautiful thing, right? I was saying I wish we can do the same thing with wine for the so-called high holy days. That one of our own or a few of our own make wine. I'm sure some of y'all in the sound of my voice make wine. Then get yourself up in this book, all right? Also, Brother Perry is an NRA firearms instructor. Now, some of you so-called Negroes are going to get spooky, right? This is not for everybody, but I did speak to this brother. I don't remember if I spoke to him by phone or through Facebook. I believe it was through Facebook, but the brother is a certified NRA firearms instructor. If you live in a state where it's legal for you to have guns, there's nothing wrong with you having them. Because some Israelites are so daggone spooky. You're more bugged out than the people in church. Oh, my gun. If you live in a state where it's legal, there's nothing wrong with you having it. There's nothing wrong with you having it. Just get some training behind it, and the brother is certified to do that. All right. Also, in that same state of Michigan, you have Brother Willie Anderson. He's a professional roofer. He does roofing. Brothers and sisters that own houses. You can reach out to this brother if you're anywhere within that vicinity, see what his prices is to do, if you need roofing work. We have people in Israel with skills and talent. You see what I'm saying? And it's about time we start making the money circulate in our community. A lot of us, we live in a gig economy. I don't know if everybody knows what that is. So I'll just break it down real quick if you don't know what it is. We live in a gig economy. That's why sites like Fiverr, how many of you brothers and sisters are familiar with Fiverr, Fiverr? We live in a gig economy. And what that means is that you have people that do 9 to 5s that have nothing to do with what they went to college for, what they went to school for, what they went to trade school for, whatever skills they may have. They just have a 9 to 5 because they got to make ends meet. And whatever talent they may have is not making ends meet. But we live in a gig economy where a lot of people with talents, they sign up to give their talents out or to service their talents out through a website called Fiverr, Fiverr. And you go on Fiverr and you can find people to do everything for you. If you need somebody to build a website, they do it. If you need somebody to do graphic design, t-shirts, drawing, illustrations, website management, data management, whatever it is, you go to Fiverr, they do it, right? But and I have Fiverr downloaded as an app on my phone too, right? But before I go to Fiverr, I'm going to go to this first. That's what we should do and see who's in here and what their prices are and what they do. And then if I can't find somebody in here, then I might go to Fiverr. And it's kind of hard to find Jakes, our people on Fiverr. Most of the times it's so-called East Indians, so-called white people, et cetera, doing the work for you. And if you want something done as far as Israel is concerned, you want somebody with that same Israelite spirit and that same flair. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you want. All right. So, that was a good thing. The brother does roofing. Here's one right here. You have another brother in Michigan. His name is Brother Wesley Ulmer. He does electrician work and he's a plumber. So again, whether you live in a building, whether you live in a house, if you need an electrician done, if you need plumbing done, you live in the state of Michigan, you consult this before you consult the Yellow Pages and find an Israelite that does it. And if their prices are good and y'all can come to an agreement, you support your own. That's how we all gonna make it. You see what I'm saying? You support your own. This is a basic elementary building block of building a nation. Small stuff. We ain't got to wait on the Messiah to do this. You see what I'm saying? But we can't have a mentality like, oh, I don't like the way you break that scripture down. My understanding of that scripture is different, so I'm going to go to the other nations to get my plumbing done. What kind of mentality is that? But I'm telling you, Israelites to do that. Somebody going to say, this is unrighteous. That's wicked, brother. Christ is going to set that up. Oh, man. I see why Yahweh Shah said, how long? He told the apostles, how long must I suffer you? And sometimes the things that I see on social media, I ask myself that all the time. I made a post this week on social media saying that my Facebook timeline is disgusting, the things that I see. I can log on to Facebook and I don't last 2 minutes. Within 60 seconds, I got to close the damn window because it's disgusting. Because all Negroes know how to do is argue and fight. When it comes to stuff like this, that's productive and positive. You got a Negro that comes on the comment and says, That's the Star of Molech. Okay, but what's inside the book? What's inside this book that I'm talking about? You don't have nothing to say about that. You got plumbers, electricians, roofers, graphic designers, notaries, life insurance agents, all Israelites, dentists, doctors, all Israelites offering their services. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we need. Again, for those of y'all that's just logging on, I'm going to put the brother that put this book together, his phone number inside the chat. Again, I did it before. It's Elder Zaqan. If you want a copy of these, you can reach out, call the brother. He'll get you a copy of this. If you have a talent that you want in here, so Israel can reach out to you. If you have something you can offer, you can call him as well. He said at the summit, he's going to update. This is updated every summit. Every summit they have, this is updated. All right? This is not about doctrine. This is not about camp, not about none of that stuff. If you're in a camp and because somebody else is not in your camp that offers a service that you know that your camp does not offer, and you can't go to your brother and will go to the other nations, you ain't you know what. And I don't care who don't like it. Let's continue. I'm trying to find stuff that I didn't already go over. Let's see here. Let's see. There's some camps in here that have nobody with it. I'm sure there's no such thing as a camp that doesn't have somebody with some talent. All right, here we go. This is from the house, actually my camp, brother Danyaahla, Lines of Israel. All right. Danyaahla is a professional video and photography. He's in my camp, Lines of Israel. If you don't know, you can reach out to my camp, 87753 Lions. I'm going to put that in the chat, 87753 Lions. Again, I make a mistake coming to this comment board. Somebody's on the comment board talking about chicken is unclean. Is that what we're talking about today, family? We're talking about chicken being unclean today? I don't get it. I don't get it. Do y'all see that? No disrespect, brother Brian Israel. No disrespect. But can you ask that question about chicken next video? I don't know. I don't know. Don't mind me. I don't know. Anyway. AOC, the mighty AOC. We've got my brother Kazak Rakar. Kazak Rakar is second in command in the camp AOC. And he's an electrical apprentice and he does contract work. Okay. So you can reach out to the brother Kazak Rakar. And everybody's phone number is in this directory as well. So you'll be able to reach out to them if you need something. All right. I was told, and I don't see it in here. I'm going to talk to the brother Zaqan about this, but I was told that there are midwives in Israel. If maybe I'm going to go backwards a little bit and see, maybe I missed it, but to me, that's one of the, that's probably one of the most important things to me that we need. That's one of the things that we're missing because a lot of our wives are going to the hospital, right? And depending on if your wife is in the truth or not, let's start off. If you have a wife that's not the truth, these nurses and these doctors, what they do is they wait until you, the father, go to take a breather, go outside, go to work. When they wait till you're not there, and they creep in the room when you're not there with these daggone pamphlets and start playing a sob story with the woman, trying to get her to do what? Not circumcise your children. This is what's happening in the hospitals. And if you have a woman that's not in the truth, not firmly planted in the truth, when they start talking to her about how it's torture and it's painful and it's not necessary and it's that and the third, she might be convinced, right? And they're also doing it to Israelite women that are in the truth. Then they have our women laying on their back when they're not supposed to lay on their back having babies. But that's not my office. We'll have a sister get into that. But anyway, we have midwives in Israel. I was going through the pamphlet to see if I could find who it is that does midwife, because that's a very important office. I didn't see the person in here, so there's still a lot of work to be done on this book, but it's still a great book. So I'm about to be done, y'all, because I know some of y'all want to go watch the Super Bowl. You know, there's a lot of work to be done to that book, so I'm going to put Zaqan's number both in the chat before I get off, and also once this video is done rendering, I'm going to go back in the description of this video in about an hour. I'll have his phone number there as well as the name of his camp. So y'all can look forward to that. The last thing I want to talk about, brothers and sisters, last thing, we spoke about life insurance before. I want to talk about, there's a brother by the name of Zaqan. Y'all, many of y'all know him, some of y'all don't. It is not our custom to embalm bodies when they die. We don't embalm the bodies as Israelites. I don't know if all of y'all know that. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. We don't do embalming, right? And so this brother, what he does is he goes around all Israel, Old Testament, New Testament, in between testament, whatever. He goes around all Israel, and he basically, what he does is when somebody passes, he will do what they call prepare the body. He'll anoint the body and wrap the body according to our customs and, for the burial. There's not a lot of people in Israel that do that. He's actually, I don't think I saw him in that book, but that's a service that at some point, every brother, every camp is going to need. We need more people that do stuff like that. That ain't my spirit. Definitely not my spirit. But we need more brothers and sisters that do stuff like that, man. You understand what I'm saying? These are important things, that we can do. So the moral of the story is, again, one of the best things to come out at the summit, although it was very short, was this book right here. And it's going to continue to grow. If you have a talent or a skill that you think Israel can use, reach out to Elder Zaqan. Try to get your name up in this book as far as what you do. Also, if you want a copy of this book as well, he was giving them out at the summit. Reach out to him and find out how you can get your copy. Book is updated every summit. All right. So with that being said, I'm done. I feel like I rambled on enough. So let me just go ahead and put this information inside the chat one more time. And then that's going to be it. So JH125 said, so we get the directory from him? For now, yeah. Because it's not mine. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could try to get y'all copies, but I would just feel a certain way of giving out copies without talking to him first. You see what I'm saying? Because this is not mine. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of glad that I didn't let y'all go just yet. Let me share my screen real quick. One last thing. Let me share my screen real quick because I mentioned something to y'all earlier I want to show you. Right? Let's go. Here we go. This is Facebook, right? This is one of the groups that, myself and Sister Malika, we founded, right? Now, everybody knows us from Healthy Hebrews. That's like the main group everybody knows. I got the Maccabeestv group. And then we have this, right? This is the same as this pamphlet I'm telling you, right? The name of this group is called the Israelite Networking Yellow Pages. Me and Zaqan never talked. While he was doing this, I created this on Facebook. As y'all can see, I got 30 people waiting to join. So shame on me that I haven't been letting people in. I kind of got sidetracked, but I see the importance of this now. So I'm gonna go ahead in and I'm gonna let everybody in that's waiting to join. This is another place that you can come. If you have a business, you come into this group and you put down what your service that you have is. And if you need something, you come in and you put in the chat what you need done. And hopefully a member of the group can help you out. You see what I'm saying? This is another resource or tool besides what Elder Zaqan is offering. Okay, so this is just something else that I wanted y'all to see. All right. So again, I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to put Zaqan's number inside the chat. And once this video is done rendering, then I'll go ahead and put it inside the description if y'all have to come back for it later. Okay, so Zaqan's number is, let me put this right here. So Zaqan's number is 1-984-365-6637. You brothers and sisters could reach out to him if you are interested in getting a copy of that book. There it is right there. Oh, I spelled elder wrong. Actually, I didn't. I just moved too fast. I didn't hit the E hard enough, but that's his phone number right there. Okay, so you brothers and sisters can reach out to him. I did my part. If you want to be in the book, reach out to him. If you want to copy the book, reach out to him. I did my part. I cannot stress to you brothers and sisters enough how important it is to keep that money circulating in our community. We don't have to wait for Christ, the Messiah, to come and set this up. We're not trying to set up the kingdom, but little stuff we could do because the other nations are doing it. We need to do it. It's really just that simple. And again, one of the most important, I'm going to, at the sake of being repetitive, one more time, probably the most important thing in this book that you need to be looking into when you get it is that life insurance. Israel, if you're a camp leader, you need to start talking to men in your camp about having life insurance. If they pass away, their life insurance could pay for their funeral so we can have a few less GoFundMes in Israel. We're always going to have them. The scriptures say we will always have the poor with us. We're always going to have them. But as leaders, you have to have vision. We can't do a GoFundMe for everybody. You see what I'm saying? This is crucial. In my camp, I'm applying pressure on brothers about this. We're going to make this a point this year. Within the Maccabees Alliance Council, I've been talking to the other leaders about it too. We're going to make this a point this year. And also look into some type of living will. I didn't see anybody here that does legal documents. You may be somebody that does legal documents. Get a hold of Elder Zaqan. Get yourself up in here. If not, as a camp leader, get your members on Legal Zoom and try to draw up some paperwork so that if a brother or sister passes away, they have no family in Israel, that they can still be buried according to the Israelite custom and not in a suit and tie with Caesar Borgia is looking down on them because we as leaders did not sometimes push our people a little bit. You got to push a little bit because our people, otherwise than that, they're going to go along and just go along to get along, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? We have to have vision and see ahead for our people. That's important as leaders. And all of you within the sound of my voice, all of you are leaders in one way or another. All of you have social media pages. All of you have people that look at your social media pages. We all have that. All right? So give your people some pertinent information sometimes, less arguing, less fighting, and give your people some pertinent information sometimes that can help them. It's all about balance, family. You dig? With that being said, once again, it was beautiful to see all of you brothers and sisters I met at the summit. Shout out to my man, Chief Ephraim Amoth Pagai. Shout out to my brother right there, that warrior. Shout out to you. Missy Simca, thank you for the donation. Appreciate it. All praise to the Most High for that. And I got another one from, let me go back up and scroll up. I definitely don't want, my computer is acting so. Na Arya, thank you to you as well. Much appreciated. All praise to the Most High for that. Majax, Lilo, shout out to you. Obadiah Yedaya, shout out to you. So Obadiah Yedaya said, don't buy universal life insurance. Khan, okay, no problem. I'm not an expert in the field, so thank you for that information, King. When you call the Elder Kahan, I'm pretty sure, because he's a life insurance agent, I'm pretty sure he'll direct you in the right path depending on what you say you need, which is kind of why I'm saying we should deal with each other when it comes to this sort of thing. All right. Also, there are farmers in Israel. They're not in this book. We got to get them in here. And so many other stuff, man. I'm pretty sure some of y'all that's on my comment boards right now, some of you brothers and sisters have talents. And you go into work in a 9-to-5 job that you hate, right? And you could use a little extra money. Call Elder Zaqan, get up in this book, put your little talent in there, and somebody might call you for that. You can make a little extra money, man. That's what it's all about. Not about getting rich. Brooklyn 5510. I'm just gonna laugh. That's it. I'm looking at your comment. Brooklyn 5510. No doubt. No doubt. We talking about chicken. You know what? I think I'm gonna do a live stream on that. Just bring some brothers in here just to show you the simplicity. Brothers can have a debate about whether chicken is lawful or not. And see, let's see how that video does. We'll have a debate about chicken. In 2019, Donald Trump about to shut the daggone government down again in about 2 weeks, right? Our people are suffering. People are freezing to death in Chicago, right? You know, there's all types of stuff going on out here, and we want to argue about chicken. I mean, we could talk about it. I'm not saying it's not a subject we could talk about, but I think today's topic was a little more important than arguing about chicken today. But I know my people, man. My people cannot go one day without some sort of disagreement. You can't. You won't sleep well if you don't argue. A lot of y'all. Sorry to say. It's a damn shame. So as I was saying, it was a pleasure to see a lot of you brothers and sisters at the summit. Some of y'all I met. for the first time. And Brooklyn 550, I respect you too, King. I do. I respect you as well. I respect all my people. I love all my people, man. Or else I wouldn't do what I wouldn't do what I would do. I wouldn't take my time to do what I do if I didn't love my people, man. Most High said one of the things that we must be is long suffering with our people. Hamashiach was long suffering. The Most High with Israel has been long suffering, right? And that's one of the fruits of the Spirit, is to be long suffering, to be patient. And so I try to be that as much as I can to the best of my ability. So I love all you brothers and sisters. I appreciate y'all supporting the platform. This is your brother Priest Danyaahla. I'm going to get out y'all way so that y'all could go ahead and go watch the Super Bowl, because I know a lot of y'all want to watch that. I'm going to check it out too. I think maybe, you know, hopefully the Patriots lose. I don't like Tom Brady. I think he's a racist. You know what I'm saying? Trying to play it off, but we'll see it after his career. He's a racist. I'm telling y'all. All right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom till the next show. Peace out, Israel.